Hello, hello. I'm Lee, your fellow Brazilian born and raised host for this college radio. I'm here because, we usually just listen, and I think it's about time students and teachers can have a little talk, a little pitch in to what happens around the university. So basically, communication Stenden is, usually from the higher ups. They, let us know news, usually about work and study. And usually it's formal and written, usually sent on Blackboard or email, and it's always just something that they give and we have to take. But we all know that uni doesn't go this way. It's not only about work, it's not only about study, and it's not only something we take. It's about, learning, taking action, enjoying things. So this is a college radio. This is for us to understand, discuss, host, create messages, and basically just share things, not just take them. So we hope to spring ideas from problems, inspirations from stories, opportunities and experience from exchanging all the life we have going on around, and just really develop that whole thing of the DB philosophy, right? Of having that proactivity, having that thing of taking your position forward, going after things, and developing, checking things for their own, understanding them, having that care and that patience and that time. And I'm rambling right now. But anyhow, we're gonna start off with a prime example of this, an interview with a fellow student that is also a music artist and an overall very honest and proactive personality in the building. From a rising music career to a magazine that touched where it really hurts in Stenden, here's a couple of things that we can learn from our guest. So, how are you today, love?
I'm pretty good today, actually. Yesterday felt like a Monday, so today feels pretty good. It's Wednesday today, right?
Yes.
Is it Wednesday? Okay, cool.
Already, it's in the middle of a week.
But doing good. Doing okay.
All right, so do you want to introduce yourself a little bit to our listeners?
What's that? Real name? Stage name?
All right, can we go maybe from the stage name, which I also have a hard time pronouncing?
Okay, my stage name is Yachxi Simone. I have to say that with a bit of, Yachxi. Yes, Yachxi Simone. But my real name is Jody Simone Anderson. It sounds a lot more classy than Yachxi.
I love the accent. Yeah. And how did you come across Yachxi?
So we were not sober one of these days. It was a while ago, and my producer and another musician and we were sitting in the studio, and we were like, what should my name be? What should my stage name be? Because I need an alter ego to be this sassy chick on the album. And I was joking, and I said, yeah, what if it was Yachxi? And my producer said, perfect. That's perfect. We're going to go for Yachxi. And then the spelling, I'm into a lot of energies and stuff, and your chi and your spirit. So chi at the end is your spirit, and the X is kind of like from Rosa, the from South African, South African vibes. So that's how we came about it, and it just kind of stuck, No,
that's good. I mean, it does look like it is very authentic and natural in a way, but it still has a lot to talk to it. Sometimes
I have to go back and look at the spelling myself, because I'm like, what the what did I do?
Oh, dude, that's amazing. And for your music, is it a similar process as well?
The music is kind of so I do all the writing, and Kai, my producer and very good friend, Whatscookinginthekitchen, check him out. He does all the beats, and then he'll send me a beat and he'll say, you have lyrics, which I do. I have just pages and pages of lyrics. So we kind of work through that. Sometimes he will change an entire song, and then I have to come up with new lyrics, or we come up with lyrics, but it's kind of a process that we do together,
And how did you guys get started?
I was going through a pretty rough time last year. I really just wanted to go home, back to South Africa. It was cold here. I just wanted to be in the sun, And he said, he's been asking me for 2 years, just come record. And I've been shy. And at that low point, I thought, why not? What do I have to lose? And then I wrote a really, really depressing, sad song. It sounded so horrible. I just want to be home. Oh, God. I even cringe to this day. But that's where it started. And hearing myself back, I was like, oh, shit. You can, excuse me, you can actually, you can sing. Okay, so let's try this again. And then we wrote Blueberry, and that was a hit single. Over 100,000 people listened to it. So it felt pretty good. And from there, just every time, once a week, we were meeting in the summer and during Corona. So it was pretty good.
Wild.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
And you mentioned the Corona. Did it affect your music situation?
I think it made it better.
Oh.
I think if it wasn't for that time of nothingness, you know, I didn't have to do school. I didn't have to go to work. It was a nothingness time. And in that time, I found the space and the freedom to be in the studio a lot. And that's where, I don't know, we all kind of came together.
Do you think that it helped you focus? Or
For sure. Now it's a little bit tough, but in that time it was great. It was great for us.
Yeah. I mean, do you feel like it was then more of an opportunity? Or?
Yes. You know, in the beginning, I was freaking out. You know, my partner at the time, he was in South Korea, and do I move to Germany? Do I stay here? What's happening? I'm sure a lot of people had that, had those feelings, but I don't know. I found a groove. I found myself. I found music again. So yeah.
No, that's amazing. And you mentioned so many countries, and of course you're from South Africa.
Yes.
How does that play out into your song and being here?
Well, Kai is from Zimbabwe, and I think all of our music is going to have some sort of African twist. And I mean, Kylo as well, Childish Kylo. He's got the Brazilian, German, I don't know, thing going on. So it's very big nationalities, and we like to keep the African vibes in the song. It's our roots. It's who we are. It's what we love, where we love to be.
It's really refreshing. And how is it for you guys to be bringing to like the audience that you guys have up here in North?
Well, it's a bit tough at some stages. Most of our people listening are in the States and in South Africa, and the Netherlands is kind of slow, but I don't know. We're trying our best, and we've never actually performed live. Mm-hmm. So hopefully in the near future we can reach an audience here in the Netherlands through performing live, not just in the studio. Yeah,
definitely. Because I mean, nowadays it is a global experience, right? Music has no barriers now.
None.
But also, I think it is amazing for you guys to have a live experience.
Yes. I haven't been on a stage in 10 years, but we'll see how it goes. I refuse to go up there without those boys. I can't, really. We'll see. No,
but definitely, I mean, you guys are doing a good job. And you're rising, escalating, you're focusing on your own thing, so it should happen. And so, because we're talking about you guys coming up, developing yourselves as artists and stuff, what do you want to achieve, or what do you have coming your way?
To be honest, I think it's just fun for now. Kai works here at Stenden, and Kylo is still getting a degree. I'm still getting a degree. So, and we've got to work, and, life is just life. So right now, it's honestly just for fun. And if something happens, that'll be amazing. But got to get that piece of paper, that degree first.
Definitely. Yeah. But it's nice. You guys seem to be going on a good pace, right? And you're realistic about it. You're like, we're doing it because we like it.
Yes.
And it's working.
Exactly. Just for fun for now. Yeah. It's tough. It's tough to get people to listen. I don't know. It's just...
We know.
Your friends. You guys do, the struggle. It's tough. And I don't know what it is, or what, I don't know what the thing is that you have to do to make it, or whatever. And that's what's bringing us back and making us realize, just do it for fun and because you like it. That's all.
I think in a lot of ways it goes back to this, right? I
Yeah.
mean, we're doing things because you have to have a minimal passion for it.
Exactly. And if you have the utensils, especially here at Stenden, you know, we use the studio, we use the cameras, we use all of this amazing equipment. Why not? Why not? It's all here for you.
Literally, you just have to reach out and grab it, because
Exactly.
the facilities do help a lot.
Exactly.
Definitely. But so, like, but it's also like, I see that it takes upon the students themselves to reach out for things.
100%.
And that's a lot of the philosophy here at Stenden, right? It's like, in a way, things are there,
Yes.
but no one's going to give it to you.
No.
But it's there. If you reach out, it's there.
Exactly. First year, I was going crazy. Really. I really was going crazy. But in my second year now, I'm like, it's all here for me. Just do it. This place isn't that bad, you know. Everywhere has its flaws, but it's not bad if you use it to benefit you. And I know that sounds a bit selfish, but we pay school fees. Use it. Use everything that you can.
Absolutely.
Because it's for a short period of time. After that, you gotta pay for a studio, you gotta pay for a cameraman, you gotta pay for this, pay for that. Right now, we're creating stuff for free.
Absolutely.
That's amazing.
And like, be able to take on that push. It's like, oh, I want to try something out. Go for it.
Yeah, exactly. What do you have to lose?
Yeah, absolutely. And like, everything is a win, and you're learning and just having a good time.
Yeah.
You know? Absolutely. And also about this thing of taking initiative and taking opportunities. You have done a very nice project on your productions module. Would you like to tell us a little bit more about it?
Yeah, of course. So for the production module, we had to come up with a magazine or articles and whatever. And initially, I was just feeling the fire of all the students, and I thought to myself, why not just write an article about what's happening right now?
Yeah, because no one mentions it really.
No.
So it's like you're just bringing something to light.
Exactly. And everyone always says it's just Stenden. If something happens, what do we say? It's just Stenden, and we brush it off and we carry on. So I decided for the title of the article to be called It's Just Stenden. And in there I discussed, you know, the organization and how, you know, international students pay 4 times as much money as European students, and how some students, you know, don't get anything back from that, or they're not cared for as much, and how there's not really one person that takes responsibility at Stenden. I had to go through this person to go through that person to go through that person. It's like you can never reach. There's not one person you can say it was their fault that this happened.
What do you mean by fault?
Just with like we were discussing students in Corona times and how they can't return back to school, international students. Why? What is the actual reason that they can't come back? They're spending the most money. They should reap the most rewards, right? So who is making these decisions? Can we ever find who's making these decisions? It was like I'm trying to reach the top, but I can never get there because nobody's fully responsible. You know, they have team leaders, then there's managers, and then there's academy directors or whatever, but it's like
there's no last word.
No, it's you know, in America it's this person's fault, he's fired, but in the Netherlands you can't just fire someone if they're incompetent. You know, it's a tough process,
but it's a different culture as well.
Yeah, completely different culture, and that's I think where I struggle to just cultural differences, and my upbringing is very different to Dutch nationals' upbringing, and also I like to stick my finger in the pie. I like to stir the pot, you know. I don't know where I get that from, but I just thought somebody needs to say something. We cannot sit here and complain because I hear it from a lot of students. Stop sitting, do something about it. Yeah. So then I did.
And it's weird because the more you end up just talking about it, it becomes a taboo on a practical term. Yeah. And in the end, you don't have changes, and both sides, both parties
exactly
end up not winning.
And what shocked me was this article made it to the cover of the CB magazine.
Yeah.
Has anything changed? I just see this place as a big organization taking a lot of money from people. But then again, here we are using microphones, using cameras, using expensive lighting. You don't even want to know how much that lighting cost in the studio. I was shocked when I heard.
But so back to your project, it was really nice. It was really, really fascinating to me that you managed to put it into words, make it more tangible, right? Because the main issue with problems is that they are not things that people can manage. But when you make them practical, they become opportunities for change, for better improvement.
Yeah, I was on the verge of starting a freaking revolution here. I wanted to protest so bad, but then you just kind of like, I went to all these meetings and then I ended up going to a meeting at Post Plaza from outside people evaluating the school. So I'm freaking nervous, I'm sitting in there and they're asking me questions, but what problems are happening? And it was very not the way that I expected it. And they were kind of like, okay, but what are you doing here actually? And I'm here fighting for the students, I'm here. And they didn't understand. So then I'm asking, why did someone send me there? It felt almost embarrassing from the school to send you to this outside evaluation, and you don't know exactly why you're there, and they don't know exactly why you're there. And that's when it kind of stopped for me, because I felt so embarrassed that, what am I doing here actually? And it feels like I'm running myself into the ground, because I'm the one that's writing the article, trying to get people involved, and no one really cares, actually. I'm talking students-wise.
Students-wise, no one really cares.
Students-wise.
I mean, and that's what I meant about you taking the first step to it, right? Because it's like, we can talk about it. It's easy to gossip.
Exactly.
It's easy to just complain about something. But when it comes to taking action, you're like, who's going to do it?
Someone said to me the other day, she said, why is it always you that's starting the revolution? I was like, wait, oh shit. It is me that's always stirring the pot. And one person came up to me and said, I read your article on Stenden and I'm so happy somebody is saying something and doing something. And all it takes is that one person for you to like, oh damn, I made a difference somewhere.
Absolutely.
And that feels great.
Yeah, because I mean, for now, this is a CB focused episode.
Yeah.
We're all media students, right? We're all trying to figure out, what does it mean to do something meaningful, content this, content that.
Yeah.
And in the end, it's like, it's these things that we don't mention. It's these things right in front of you that can be slightly shocking. But they are the opportunities. They are the windows for tomorrow, Like, you can't... It's like, for example, on PPD, you have goals,
yes.
Or you have like these constant knots where you have to unknot them, and that's how life goes on and things get better.
But what I really was surprised, my production teachers, wow, they were pushing me. Pushing me.
I love that.
They were really supportive. They were like, send us your drafts, they helped me edit. They were like, go speak to this person, speak to that person. So it's not just the students that are annoyed. Teachers, educators, they're also peed off, they're also tired of the system.
It is a community. Like, everyone gets affected in a way or another. Yeah, definitely. And I think that's amazing. One of the things is that the teachers do make for so much of the experience of the module or the task.
Oh yeah.
What tip would you give for teachers and what they should keep doing? Because, for example, right now we're in Corona time, so a lot of things are having to be online. Yeah. And I see so many teachers putting so much effort in trying to make things work and making things comfortable for everyone, because it's really hard.
I think teachers also need to learn something every day. Learning is continuous, and being a teacher, you have to be a special kind of person to be a good teacher. And for me as a student, for us as students, to actually grasp something and say, wow, I learned something today. I didn't just sit there and go, oh my God, I'm going to have a panic attack. I don't know what's happening, which happens to me half the time. But after 4 weeks, 5 weeks, then you start to like,
Get
okay,
out of things.
now I know what's happening in the module. But yeah, teachers need to learn something too every day. Keep the education flowing.
And do you have anything that, for example, the teachers that have helped you so much, you'd like to send a message to them right now?
Maurice, I had him for 2 modules. He is amazing, really. With the last module, with the marketing module, at the end, we were going head to head for who's going to win 5 tickets to Welcome to the Village.
Yeah.
And I said inside myself, I'm gonna win these tickets. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm not gonna follow the rules that my teachers have given me. They gave us guidelines, and I said, I'm not gonna do this. I'm gonna give the client what he wants. He wants an end, and he wants an end product, so he doesn't have to do anything. And an hour before, I'm on the phone to Maurice. He's saying, if you feel like you need to do that, do that. I back you. You know, and he did, and we won, and it felt amazing. And I'm so grateful that he was my teacher.
I love that.
2 modules, yeah. Wow.
'Cause teachers are the support of your education,
Yeah.
right? They're there to back you up and help you out and get you through the things that you need to do. And from such a practical education, that's their job in a sense, to keep pushing you forward and telling you, okay, but you have to go for it.
Yes.
You know? Absolutely.
It was it was pretty good, the past 2 modules. This module I'm not so sure about. I'm not so, I don't know. I don't want to be a concept developer, so that's why I'm not interested.
But I mean, technically you're a concept developer and lyrics and stuff.
Exactly. Other stuff feels more important than school right now, and that's a bit challenging.
I mean, would you say that it's completely school unrelated?
No, it has everything to do with school. If I didn't come to this school, I would never have found this industry. So yeah.
Definitely. So to finish off, would you have anything you'd like to say for our listeners? Any tips, any mantras?
Guys, try and find that balance. It's really tough to balance school, life, work, everything, working out, music, friends, with a nervous breakdown once a month.
That's healthy, actually.
I think a nervous breakdown once a month, and then
Allow yourself to cry. It's
just
good.
let it go. Life continues. Whether you feel depressed, happy, anxious, whatever, life is gonna continue. So you must just keep moving forward.
It cleanses the soul, guys. It really does.
Wow, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for coming.
It's amazing.
Follow Yachxi Simone on Instagram along with, what was it?
What's cooking in the kitchen?
Yes, absolutely. And hear them out. What platforms are you guys available again?
All major streaming platforms.
Ooh.
Apple, Spotify. Go for it all. Another thing before we round off, I have another article coming out in the Leeuwarden student newspaper. It's about the Asian students and Corona. So check it out.
Very nice.
Coming soon.
You touch where it's needed. Thank you.
Cheers. What's up, guys? This is Yachxi Simone. You're listening to College Radio. Here's our single Blueberry with What's Cooking in the Kitchen.
Now let's take a look at some local news. We've got some really good news for car owners. So in the Leeuwarden city center, all the garages are going to be free in the morning period from 9 to 12 in the morning, from the 1st of November to the 31st of December. So make sure, to enjoy the city town in the morning period while it's not so busy, because so it seems that between 2 and 4 p.m. is when everyone goes out in the city. And maybe with this, we can have more visitors around the earlier parts of the day. Shops wouldn't be so busy. Who knows, maybe you get an ice cream. Also, a store called Dilla and Camilla, if I managed to, say that properly, is opening a shop on the 14th of October here in Leeuwarden. So if you're looking for some kitchen appliances and stuff, or some really, sweet home decoration, because you're just moving in, or, you really need to fix your room because, it's been a while since you've done that, you should check it out. And lastly, you probably hung around the city center of Leeuwarden and you might have noticed there's something building. If you're an older student like me, you noticed that has been going on for a while now. Well, that is the new Cinema Pathé that is opening around later this year. If you can't wait for that one, don't worry, we've got 2 others as well in the city center that you can very much enjoy. But this one seems that they have a really nice project going on, so should check it out. Now it's time for our very, very local news segment. What's up going around NHL Stenden? Here we'll be covering all the events, focus groups, news, and general happenings, so you can't get any FOMO, the fear of missing out, for those that are not that familiar with it, ever again. First off, we have the Teacher Appreciation Day that's happening on the October 5th. NHL Stenden is doing a campaign on their Instagram where you can DM them your favorite teacher and they might just get a gift. So be sure to check that out and let them know which teacher you want to, maybe appreciate, maybe hope for a better grade next time. Next up is the minor market happening from the October 6th to the 8th, where you can check out all the possible minors for your study on your 3rd year. And we're also going to be hosting the Study Abroad Fair that is also going to be online on the October 7th, also within the same fair. If you happen to have any German friends that are not studying NHL just yet, you can maybe tell them to consider coming by the German Open Day in Leeuwarden on the October 9th. And for the very last thing, on the October 12th to the 18th happens the first education-free week of the school year. So here's some holidays and some free time for everyone, because things have been chaotic, Corona has been around, online classes are, online classes. So a very much needed time to breathe to try to get things back on normal. For now, these are all the noteworthy events coming up, but they're being updated all the time, so we'll make sure to let you know. Did you know that Leeuwarden has a big prison in the city? Or, for the ones that are new, that the Leeuwarden was the culture capital city of Europe in 2018. Some groups in Stenden even did some marketing for it. Did you also know that there is a weekly pub quiz that you can join every Wednesday night in the Music Cafe Scooters? And lastly, did you know that there is a Frisian food tour in Leeuwarden? Well, now you know. And now we're gonna be having Teddy. Teddy is a Bulgarian living in Luxembourg student, and recently she has went to study exchange and to live in South Korea, which is very interesting. We're gonna call her right now. So, Teddy, how are you?
Hi.
How have you been?
I've been good. I mean, I'm kind of stuck in quarantine in Luxembourg right now, but otherwise everything's okay.
Oh, really? How are the measures there? Because here in the Netherlands, things are fairly
terrible.
loose.
It's really, really bad. Like here, I'm pretty sure this is the second time that we've been blacklisted by all the countries of Europe because Luxembourg's situation is so, so bad.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. And how's that going for you?
Oh, it's not as fun as it sounds. I mean, I'm sure people like being stuck at home, or others don't. I don't know, but for us, it's kind of a nightmare. Everything is closed. Like, there's not much to do overall.
Damn. That kind of brings me into the topic. I mean, we're here today to talk about Teddy's minor and what she studied in her experience abroad. And you also were having your exchange exactly during when, Corona started. How was that like?
Yeah, it was peak Corona. It really was. Yeah.
Dude, it was so odd. But like, how was it there? Because like Corona started in Wuhan, China. You were in South Korea. That's very close.
Yeah, that's right.
So
I mean,
yeah.
yeah. So, it was not as bad as you would expect because Korea very quickly took matters into their own hands, and people were scared. So it was like a ghost town everywhere you went. Like the majority of people would just stay at home. Work was obviously not like happening at all. So the issue technically got solved pretty early on, but then there was a second wave like right after we left. So I guess that's like unfortunate. But when we were there, technically quarantine measures were even like kind of lessening, so to speak, because the situation was getting better and better. Like everywhere else around the world, it was getting worse. And I even recall how Stenden was really pushing for me to come back because it was dangerous, obviously, and they sent everyone else back from, Bali or Thailand, wherever, Japan. And I like strongly refused because I knew that Korea was getting better. The numbers were, decreasing. So I stayed there, and then later I found out like that the Netherlands was actually doing pretty badly. So there wouldn't be a point in me coming back.
I mean, in the end, you took the decision that it was healthier.
Yeah, exactly. That's right.
And how was it for you to be away from friends and family? I mean, was it tough for you?
No, not really. I gotta be honest. I adjusted very well because I'm so thankful for this. And later on, we found out that other universities didn't have this, but it was very quick for us to find people and find friends because our university had created like a group chat for all the exchange students that you could like kind of meet up at some point when it wasn't so bad. And we did, and like very early on in the exchange program. So like I basically had a friend group from the very beginning, so it was very easy to adjust to Korea, explore places and kind of feel less homesick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that's pretty good then. If it was such a soft, sound adaptation for you.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you think it was? I mean, of course, you had these facilities to help you out, but do you think that it was something you did consciously? Like you were like, okay, I'm gonna go do things this way, or it happened?
That's actually a good question because I found out that like I sort of had to push myself because even if I sometimes didn't want to go to certain events or things that were organized by our exchange group, I had to push myself to go because otherwise you don't meet people and you don't discover things, and you kind of have to have like an open mind and you kind of have to uh, break out of your shell basically.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, sort of. Yeah, I think it was also like a conscious decision to make friends and go out there.
Oh yeah, and like, was that very different from your student life here in Leeuwarden?
Yeah, it definitely was because I felt a little bit of pressure to find people there, and in Leeuwarden it wasn't really the case because I knew that at some point eventually I will find people and I will spend a lot of time here anyway. Well, there it was only a couple of months. I had to quick go.
Oh, okay. And like, what was like the highlight both from your student life or moving to Seoul and being in Korea?
Let's see.
Doesn't have to be just one.
Just one.
No, it doesn't have to
Highlight?
be just one. You
Oh,
can.
it doesn't. Okay. Well, I found amazing people, amazing friends from all over the world. That was like such a blessing, really. I think to this day we will remain to be like very, very, very good friends. I found out a lot about the Korean culture. They're very open, especially as I have to mention, like nightlife obviously is very big in Korea and Seoul. So everyone like that I met there, and people were just so very kind and very generous, and everything is just amazing. I don't know. It was exactly as I had pictured it.
Oh, that's amazing. And I mean, we're talking all about this, about you going on exchange, but we actually haven't talked about your minor and the things you studied. So, want to tell us a little bit about that?
Right. Well, my minor was like kind of not related to what I study in Stenden. So I did mainly like cultural studies. I generalized it like that. I did a lot of, for example, history and culture and about Korea or Eastern Asia in specific. I also studied Korean language for beginners. I did Korean cinema, which was really, really interesting. What else? Contemporary Korean society, etc.
But that's pretty interesting. But like, was it? Did you have that in mind to do there, or?
Yeah, actually, yes, it really was, because initially I remember the conditions of picking a minor elsewhere was like a super abroad, was that you had to pick something that was similar to our study. And I was very stressed out because I knew that my university didn't have any like specifically media related studies except for the Korean cinema class. So I was stressed out, but then later on we found out that it was like you could pick anything that's like a little bit different. So I did, and I was really, really like I wanted to do the language course. I wanted to do the cultural, basically all of the courses that I picked, because I wanted to learn more about Asian culture mainly. And yeah, thankfully that worked out. So.
Oh, I'm really glad. Which, by the way, for every creative business student listening to this, we don't have that worry anymore. So your courses can be whatever you really want to study, you're really passionate about. You can just go for it. It doesn't have to be media related.
Yeah, that's great.
I'm sorry that you didn't get the window on that, but
Yeah.
at least it worked out.
Yeah.
Okay. And so this is a lot about, your experience about. I'm so glad that you had such a nice experience in South Korea. Do you have any tips for people considering to go on exchange or moving so far away?
Don't bring a lot of things. That is one major problem that I had, is that I came with a very big luggage and didn't consider the fact that I will buy a lot of things while I was there as well. So basically go with an empty luggage, because you will buy clothes, you will buy accessories, whatever, food even on your way back. And I actually had to move because my stay there was extended a little bit. My flight got canceled. So I had to move from one place to another, and you can imagine that's the whole process on its own.
That's
so
intense.
yeah, luggage problems. You will have them for sure. It's not far.
All right. Well, thank you so much for agreeing to this interview. This was a very enlightening experience.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Yes, always. All right. Thank you. Bye, Teddy.
What's up, guys? This is Yachxi Simone. Give our latest single a listen, Sunny Days with Working Theory.
Okay. Just pass it. Like, come on, like, just pass it. Yo, that's actually childish. Alright, let me put these drums on. Let me put this beat on here. Do that. Alright, let me put the beat.
Life is not what you make it out to be, so be free.
Yo, that's childish. One more time.
Life is not what you make it out to be, so be free. See inside your mind and you'll find the time to let the sun shine. Sunny days, no every day. Roll up another one, it's okay. Sunny days, sunny days. be rolling, 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 rolling. We 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 be
Summer days, easy days, got my tribe, embrace. Life to the fullest, man, it's only one life. One love, Bob Marley just got it right. It's the period of the year where we gather all the peers, rolling in the summer vibe outside with some beers.
Mary Jane, roll it up, roll it up, roll it up.
Stack it up, crush it up, roll it up, spliff it up. We waiting for the summer, gotta mash it up. What's cooking in the kitchen, gotta mash it up. What's cooking in the kitchen, gotta back it up. J.O.D. on the vocal, just jazz it up. The stress, no vice, just a mint. Banana split in the summer as a cold gift.
Life is not what you make it out to be, so be free. Seek inside your mind and you'll find the time to let the sun shine. Sunny days, smoke every day, roll up another one, it's okay. Sunny days, sunny days. Sunny days, sunny days. Life is not what you make it out to be, so be free. See inside your mind and you'll find the time to let the sun shine. Sunny, sunny days.
So I always hear people saying that the CV study is very broad and they don't know what they're gonna do after they get the degree. So we thought we'd help you out. We looked for very, very interesting job postings and things people have included on their legitimate CVs to give you, some pitched in ideas. So we start off with Digital Overlord, which I guess could be a very D&D title for a website manager. Or you can also be a patron saint of academic studying, which we haven't figured out what that is, but someone said it and I bet that person is already working. So, what rows your boat. And we can also have here Master Handshaker in case you're just, very confident and you want to leave that really, really explicitly said on your CV. Moral of the story is, dude, if they can do it, then you can do it too with a CV degree. So we were conducting a little research, big shout out to Afka Love, with some CB students about how they're feeling with online classes and stuff. So to start off, we asked you guys if you're happy with how NHL Stenden has been handling the whole corona situation and online classes. Surprisingly, 62% of everyone said yes and 38% said no. So kind of majority-wise, we're pretty content, right, with the way things are handled? If you're not, why not? Let us know. Next, we asked how you guys found out about the online classes, if you think they're being less productive than the in-person classes. This is so confusing. And as predicted, the majority of you at 82% said you find the online classes less productive, with only 18% saying that they find them more productive. So how do you guys do it, really? Because I just try to keep them short, straight to the point, objective, and definitely with an agenda going on. Because otherwise, Jesus Christ, it's just rambling on and people talking and just hoping not to be there, Anyhow, the last corona-related question is a bit more open-ended because we were curious how everyone has been spending their free time because of the online classes. Since, let's be real, the days have been a lot more open now than before. So some of Some of our answers included hanging out with friends, especially at the park, and sometimes drinking. Make sure to stay corona safe. By the way, do your thing, but please stay safe. Stay at home chilling, obviously with Netflix, because come on, what's romance? Picking up new hobbies and sports, working on your own businesses, and starting new personal and creative projects. So hopefully, if you're bored at home, don't know what to do, why not just start something new? Why don't you just start drawing, doodling, or, who knows, just start your own sneaker selling business? Everything's possible. The very last question we asked our audience, potentially being the most important because, relevance. Are you guys gonna miss the sunny weather? Because personally, I'm trying to soak up the last few rays of sunlight and warmth possible before it's just, clouds, gray, and wind for 6 months straight. The majority of you feels precisely the same as me. 78 said that you'll miss the sun, but 22% are already very much ready for the sweater weather to start. I do have to admit though, I'm very hyped for Halloween because, Halloween. So there you have it. Thank you for everyone that contributed to our polls, and make sure to keep watching and letting us know how you feel about things in the future. If you have any ideas for questions you like asked and answered, make sure to write them in the comments below. Since the holidays are over and everyone is adjusting to the new array of studying and teaching, we've decided to come up with some tips for you guys. We can imagine how over the past 6 months a lot has changed for everyone in very different ways. So we're gonna try to help you guys out by this segment to give you tips to help you out. Every week we'll be discussing every tip, and you're very welcome to share with us your own tips or things that you're struggling with so we can help each other out. So first of all, we'll start with our new students and give you guys a very warm welcome to NHL Stenden. I'm really sorry that Corona is a thing and you had to start off with, online studying, and it can be really hard, really tough. It's not what you wanted at first. I don't think you were hoping for, start your college life in this way. But we are giving this time to maybe help you guys, reach out to you guys to, help you out. We're starting off with the subject of structure. So, as you probably know, a very important thing to keep in mind. Studying from home can be very, very hard on its own, and because you're very, dependent on yourself, it's very, very hard to stay that disciplined. Just try to make a system that gives you a certain sort of structure, a dynamic that you can, get out of bed every day at the same time, or if you don't have online classes that early, if you're off all day, this should help to get you to a daily routine. Try to make the weekends different from your weekdays, which was something that during Corona times was fairly hard, but it does make a difference to try to get a sense of normalcy. What also may help is to create a special workplace in your home, a separate space where you can just, work in peace, focus, and properly concentrate on the things you have to do for uni. This could be your kitchen table or a desk or, that very specific corner of the stairs. I don't know what, rows your boat. It's personal for everyone. And by doing this, you can keep your studying separate from your personal life, which can also, give you maybe a more healthy dynamic. So if you have a tip that really works for you or something you saw someone else doing that you think it's very interesting to help everyone else, make sure to share with us. We're going to share with absolutely everyone. And if you feel like you're struggling, don't be scared to reach out. We're all here, we're all students as well, and we've been, through the studies a bit more. We know a certain thing or two that we can definitely help you out, especially with assignments. So yeah, let us know. And now we're going to be giving some tips of the start of the school year, also for teachers. So teachers, I do not underestimate the tough times you're going through. Online classes, students can also be, the most distracted things, not only, at every single point in time. So thank you so much for your effort. It's appreciated. And here are some tips to maybe help you out with teaching online. First of all, we recommend to, of course, connect with your students, understand it's hard, and understand that some people are not that collaborative, but that should help with getting the message across, understanding that everyone is at the same boat and that you guys are struggling just as much with the situation as all the students are as well. If it is way too many people, sometimes it helps a lot to make one big group into several subgroups and make separate times for that with, more specific moments to talk to them, get in touch, and make sure that all the information is exchanged. We also recommend to provide a clear schedule with structure, also to help the students in what they can expect that day, because we know that, students' attention span is the shortest thing in the world. And also for yourself, because then you can, make sure that you have some time to do your own thing, take a breather, and, to keep track of every single class and every single group and every single thing you already have to take care of. We also recommend to keep all instructions as short and clear as possible. It happens sometimes that teachers want to give as much information as possible as a form of help, but it ends up that it makes things either more confusing or your students are just gonna, oh, this is not as important because they didn't keep it short anyways. So this can help out you, the information that you give, and of course your students. And with that, we also recommend to maybe start the class a little bit more intensively than the rest of the class. Exactly because, like we mentioned, attention span is horrible. We have way less than a goldfish does apparently at this point. And, it's fine. It's something we have to deal with. And in a way, it's good because if it keeps things economic for yourself, you don't have to go through all the mental, energy and stress and effort that you have to put on this. At last, we mentioned as well to maybe discuss the learning goal of the day. So, everyone can stick to that point. People don't necessarily go too off from it. And people can, be sure of what they're going for, have a structured way to go about it. So, thank you again so much for all the effort you guys are putting on. We hope that this was helpful, and, let us know any struggles that you have, that you want some tips, or that you feel like students are not well aware enough that you struggle with, and maybe we can make the bridge for that too. And this is pretty much it. With this, we conclude our pilot episode of the new college radio program at NHL Stenden. And me, along with my team of producers for this project, we're really, really grateful that you heard us thus far. We really hope to make true and genuine and practical connections for you to help you out going through this corona messy world and whatever the hell is going on at any point in time in this university. So if you have any tips or comments or criticism or constructive criticism preferably, or anything you'd like, to ask or have answered, or anything at all, we're trying to make the bridge, we're trying to engage. So feel more than free to engage with us. Send us a message, send us an email, send us whatever the hell you think that should be shared or talked about or questioned to everyone in the university. We really enjoy making this. We really enjoy contacting you guys and making all of these connections. So feel free to send us all you've got. And of course, don't forget to check out all the events and to spread the word around that we're trying to get this settled. We're trying to make this work so it's an environment for us, me, and you, and everyone pretty much. So thank you so much for tuning in. I talk to you guys again next week. Lee out, and this was the college radio program.